So because of our core curriculum, my students sit in my classroom, and they're not just spectators in the discussion. They're participants in the discussion. They're contributors to the discussion. They're bringing stuff into the classroom that I can't imagine getting introduced into other history classrooms, and my students are doing that. And it's because of the core curriculum.
Well, thanks for joining us as we've listened to Dr. Robert Spinney talk about his time here at Patrick Henry College and why he thinks it's unique among colleges in America. You know, without government funding, your support is the only way we can provide scholarships for our amazing students, and it's also the only way we get to employ these amazing professors like Dr. Robert Spinney. So thank you. Well, in this final episode, Dr. Spinney talks about the danger of expressive individualism. He'll also explain what that means, and the importance of getting students to think for themselves. Well, that doesn't happen by accident. It's done intentionally, both by the way he teaches and by the way we've designed our curriculum. I think hearing it described by him and knowing it is happening here at PHC will encourage you about the future of our nation. So here now is Dr. Spinney on expressive individualism and teaching students to think for themselves.
I always try to find a way to address expressive individualism somehow, some way in my classes. I am persuaded that is going to be the biggest spiritual challenge my students are going to face, both as individuals and their family, as we increasingly become a culture that by default thinks in terms of expressive individualism. And expressive individualism is a big thing. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of understanding the world. It's a way of processing data. Ground zero on expressive individualism. The distilled essence of it is you reject external sources of authority. You do not accept natural law or the Bible or what the president says. You don't accept an external source of authority as something you must obey. Instead, you look internally and say, the only person I can really trust to do the thing, to know what will make me really flourish is me. So I have to trust me. Does it make sense to me? Do I think it's right? And to make that move from I no longer trust an external authority to I only trust myself, that just goes to the heart of just eviscerating biblical Christianity. The Bible is no longer an authoritative source that we must obey, like it or not. And that's what I think what expressive individualism has even leaked into the church. And it's too easy even for Christians today to say, I know the Bible says that, but it really seems to make sense to me that I do X or Y or Z. And that's why I'm so concerned about expressive individualism. What's happening is my students are actually engaging with the material. And I'm sitting there with them, right? It's almost like a 3 or 4 party conversation. So my history classes were never like that. My history professors never gave me a live issue. Like, how do you address high rates of unemployment? And then say, Spinney, how would you solve it? They did that. They just told me how to solve it, and I wrote it down. But that's not what I do in my classes. And so we ask students, what would you do? You've read the textbook, you know the facts, so how would you solve the problem? To me, that is a level of cognitive skill building that you rarely find in any history classroom. Usually history classrooms are, here's what happened in the past, write it down, remember it. It's usually not, what if you were Ulysses S. Grant? And what if your chief advisors were involved in a financial scandal? What would you have done as president Would you have covered up for them? Would you have prosecuted them? Would you have fired them? What would you have done? And that's something that does not happen in most history classrooms. Because my students are taking these core classes, they bring things into the classroom that I don't bring in. Today in class, we were actually talking about President Trump and Vice President Vance. And we were talking about the issue of citizenship, and we were having this general discussion. And one of my students says, "We know Edmund Burke talked about that." And this is one of my students. Edmund Burke says that we ought to think about citizenship like A, B, and C. And it seems like what Vice President Vance is doing is really in line with what Edmund Burke was doing back in the late 1700s. To which I go, wow. That's amazing. I mean, I did not know that. What my student brought into the class was something that I was not aware of. And so the core curriculum equips our students to not just be spectators in discussions, but actually inform participants in discussions.